Hey, Gavin. Why did you bring your parents along with you on our private vacation again? This time we were taking this trip as a way to make up for the lack of a honeymoon taken after we got married, right? We both were busy with work around our time of the wedding, and that's why we couldn't go anywhere after. We even had my parents take the kids so that we could go on this vacation without having anyone else coming along with us, right? So why did you bring your parents along last minute?
What is wrong with you, Alice?
Also, when it comes to our seating on this plane, you three are all sat together while I'm having to sit in a different row all by myself. Why do I have to be all by myself when the row you're in has 4 seats available?
We didn't have a choice in that, okay? Both of my parents wanted to come on this trip with us this morning, so when I went to buy them tickets last minute, I had to change where I sat in order to be together with them.
But what I don't understand is why from the beginning you were sitting in a different row than me on the plane.
Just be happy there were enough seats for the 4 of us to be on the same plane together, Alice. And you got to sit in premium economy, right?
This isn't about me being in a better seat than you guys. And this plane isn't even close to max capacity, so there sure was enough seating for both you and I to have sat together and for the 4 of us to have sat as well.
What's the big deal of going on vacation with both of my parents anyway? This is my way of saying thanks to them for allowing you and me to live in a different house instead of having to live together with them. I'm being a good son.
Listen, Gavin, if you wanted to have your parents come along, then why did you say no to me inviting my parents as well as bringing the kids on this trip? I don't get it.
Oh, come on now. If we brought along everyone on this trip, we'd have to spend way too much money.
I'm not talking about money right now. Honestly, I just wanted this trip to be the 2 of us, yet you went and brought your parents with us last minute.
Are you saying it won't be any fun having my parents along with us?
That is not what I'm saying.
Well, no matter what you have to complain about, they're already with us now, so there's nothing we can do. If you want for just the both of us to go on vacation, we can do that the next time we have a chance.
Oh, whatever, Gavin. I don't care anymore. Alice, I heard that just a little bit ago you had a lot of things to say about my son. Don't forget that our son makes sure we hear about everything. I should have known that he'd show you all those texts. We are sitting right next to him, so of course we'd see what you were saying whether he showed us or not. The fact that you can't even understand that our son is trying to be good to us, wants to be good to us, proves that you're a failure as a wife. Is that the only reason you're texting me right now? To tell me that I'm a failure? I'm just letting you know what I think before we get down to business. I just hope you remember what I've just said to you here. Well, none of what you've just told me helps our relationship anyway, so no thanks. Excuse me? So can we get to what you want to talk to me about now? Oh, that's right. I have to talk with you about this as soon as possible. Listen here, Alice. The hotel that was reserved for us to stay at tonight only had 1 room available. I'm sure you'd love to talk about that now, since there's 4 of us staying there. Originally, this trip was just for Gavin and I to be on, so we only needed 1 room. And since I had no time to tell you and your husband that this morning when you came bursting out of nowhere saying that you were coming as well, we're all stuck with 1 room. I see. I've been aware of that. Since we only have 1 room and there are 4 of us, you're going to be sleeping somewhere else tonight. Huh? You want me to find somewhere else to stay tonight? Gavin's been on his tablet this whole time trying to figure something out for us, but every single hotel in that area is full with no rooms available. And the room that Gavin took at the start only has 1 bed and a couch, so that's where my husband and I, plus Gavin, will be staying tonight. What's so bad about having Gavin sleep on the floor then and allowing me to have the couch? The room is only meant for 3 people max, and since I can't trust what's on hotel room floors, I will not allow anyone to sleep on them. So what you're saying is I'm being forced to sleep somewhere else? Gavin is to blame for this as well, but we're asking you to find somewhere else to sleep tonight. Understood.
Alice, now that my mom has talked with you about what's happening today, We don't expect you to have to crash out in the lobby or anything, but you're going to have to find yourself someplace else to sleep tonight.
Sure. This should mean I can go off on my own and do whatever I want for the rest of this trip without you guys then, right?
What? We're gonna meet up in the airport once we've landed and then go to the hotel like we'd planned before, right? All you'll have to do is sleep somewhere else tonight. We can make a time and place to meet tomorrow and get back to spending this vacation together, right?
Not anymore though, Gavin. Ugh, I just can't with you anymore. The fact that you just can't seem to understand what the problem is here is going to make me crazy if I keep trying to write things.
Huh?
I'm going to do things by myself when we get there. And I'll find my own way home when it's time because I do not want to take the same plane as you guys.
Hey, Alice!
I'm sure that both your mom and dad are watching this conversation unfold as well, right? Guess I won't need to explain anything to your mom now. See you after this trip is over.
Hey, wait! Hey, Alice! I just went up to your seat and you weren't even there. Did you move to another seat on the plane or something? Answer the damn phone already! You think I'm gonna just stop trying after a few rings? What the hell is going on here? I can't find you anywhere on this plane now. Why the hell are you even that mad with me to begin with? You and your selfishness is so damn childish, Alice. Fine. Go sit wherever the hell you want. I'm betting you're just hiding in the bathroom now anyway.
Gavin, I noticed you left for a little bit after we had dinner. Where are you right now?
Hi, Mom. Perfect timing, actually. There's a hot spring out behind the hotel that's owned by the resort. So how about you and Dad go enter that for a little bit and relax?
Wow, I didn't know that this resort had so many amenities.
When this resort was first built, it was known as the only one on the island to have an all-natural hot spring included in it. Normally it's private and only available to guests that have reserved it weeks in advance, but after asking the front desk, they said a few spots in it just opened up.
Are you not going to come and join us?
There's actually one other reason I wanted to come out here on vacation, so I'm going there now. So while I'm gone, you and Dad can take your time relaxing, and I'll make sure to call you when I'm on my way back. By the way, the front desk is only giving you both an hour, so you'd better get down there and enjoy the hot spring while you can. You have until 10 p.m. to be in there, so go!
Oh my. I guess I'll have to grab your dad and get down there. I'll grab my towel and everything right now and go with your dad.
Have a relaxing time. Alice, thank you for waiting. I'm getting in a taxi right now and will be on my way to your hotel.
Sounds good. Good work today, by the way, Gavin. Were you able to get them off your back without any issues?
Without any trouble at all, actually. I told them to go and chill in the hot spring for a bit while I dipped, and that's exactly what they both did.
I see. So is that the thing you ordered last minute due to them having the last minute cancellation?
That was it. In other words, that was the last good thing I'm doing for my parents for the rest of my life.
That's right. About 20 minutes ago, I got a call from your older sister. She told me that things went to plan, and after meeting up with her boyfriend, she was able to move into her new condo. Now that she's moved in, they're celebrating with things like wine and pizza.
Oh, is that right?
She also gave me her new phone number because she's going to get rid of her old one after today, so once you arrive here, I'll give it to you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that my older sister was finally able to make her way out of there. And Alice, Thank you for helping us out with all of it.
Sure. I'm just happy it all went as planned.
What I'm really happy about, though, is that I no longer have to play the role as the husband who's in love with his mother and father more than his own wife. God, that was so tough for me to do. The amount of times I had to call and text you there to convince my parents that I was really upset with you.
That was quite a lot of calls. And I'm going to have to go through and delete all their notifications now.
I will never ever do anything like that again, I promise you that.
I sure hope you don't. And man, was it tough for me then as well. I knew that your parents were watching you text and call me all the time then, so I had to make sure that all of my texts were believable. Thinking of the best way to make it look as though I didn't love you anymore was the hardest part for me, Gavin. I think that was the very first time we've ever talked to one another like that, right?
I don't think we've ever had a reason to talk to one another like that before.
That's true.
Anywho, I'll see you in a bit here.
Okay, have a safe ride over. I'll be waiting for you in front of the hotel. Gavin? I'd been wondering why you still hadn't come back to the hotel yet. So when I went up to the room to see if you were there, I realized all your things were gone. Did you go back home?
What? You realized I had left a lot sooner than I was hoping. Well, I've finished all I had to do, so that's fine, I guess.
What are you going on about, Gavin? Where are you right now?
I'm at the hotel Alice booked a room at.
Huh? Why are you with her? I thought the plan was for you to be staying with your parents at this hotel tonight without her having to be a part of it.
Are you kidding me, Mom? We planned this vacation to just be the two of us from the very beginning. So that means it's just about Alice and I, and that you and Dad will not be a part of it.
Hold on a second.
Your guys' room had to be paid in advance in order for you guys to stay there, so you don't have to worry about paying for it. But if you're going to order room service or use any of the other amenities at that hotel while you stay, you'll have to pay for all of it.
This has nothing to do with what things we had to pay for. The whole point of this vacation was to teach that smart-mouth-wielding wife of yours her place, and that's why you kicked her out of our plans. You agreed with your dad and I on that plan, right? The whole time we'd been on that plane, you made sure to show us all the things you said to her to make sure she'd learn her place. And that's why we made sure she had to sleep somewhere else tonight.
What are you talking about, Mom? Well, who cares at this point? I guess it's my turn to tell you what our original plan has always been.
Your original plan?
There are actually a couple of goals we wanted to achieve with this, but the biggest one was protecting my wife from your harassment.
Protecting her from my harassment? Are you talking about the way I've been schooling her? All your dad and I have been doing is trying to fix that woman's smart-ass attitude by treating her like the animal she is.
And what you both call her smart-ass character, I like to call her independent attitude. And hasn't it been you acting like a child this whole time, Mom? Tell her she can't be working as a wife and that she can't be making more than me as a wife? And that she has to listen to us because she's my wife, and that she has to bear you more grandchildren because she's my wife. All of those things are unwarranted and childish, Mom. Do you understand that?
Hold on. You should understand that all of those things I said are true and that she must listen to me. Isn't that why you'd been working with me to school her this whole time?
I wasn't working with you to school her, Mom. I was just trying to sell the lie that I actually agreed with what you were doing. No man in their right mind would allow their own mom to actually treat their wife like that. Come on!
What?
You want to know why she's making more than me at her job right now? That's because she's worked for that company longer than I have and does a much more demanding job than I do. All of that money is a result of her hard work and serious work ethic and should not be judged by someone like you. You like to call her a smartass for not listening to you and doing her own thing. But you asking her to quit her job and to spend all of her time doing the chores and cooking and asking her to send you $2,000 a month in order for you to accept her? And you telling her to stop having daughters and start having sons for you? All of that is completely insane and something I never thought would be coming out of my own mom's mouth. Of course she was going to tell you off like that when you demand things as ridiculous as those. Also, what the hell is wrong with us having 2 daughters? It's not like anyone gets to just choose what gender their baby will be when they're made. So don't you freaking dare start blaming that on my wife when it's an impossible standard to be setting.
Wait, is that right?
This is starting to take too much time, so let's end things with that. Tomorrow, Alice and I will be going home to our new house that we picked out.
Huh? You guys moved into a new house?
In other words, we're cutting ties to you now.
Cutting ties to us?
And trying to find out where we are through Alice's family won't work. We already spoke with them a month ago about the plans we had in mind for this trip, and they promised us that they'd block you both today. We're all going to be changing our phone numbers as well when we get back home.
What did you say?
And when it comes to our daughters that we left with Alice's parents, they've been told about this and are excited to be moving into their new home. When this trip is over tomorrow, we'll be completely cutting ties to you and Dad, so there will be no chance for you. So starting tomorrow, you should stop talking to us. No, actually, after this, you can stop thinking about Alice and I being a part of your family and no longer have to text us.
Gavin!
Of course, we'll stop sending you and Dad money as well.
What? You can't do that, Gavin!
Bye-bye!
Gavin, no! No! Alice! What the actual hell is going on here? Why? Are you questioning why your daughter is no longer living with you guys in your house? I'm sure after noticing all of her things were gone and her room completely clean that she was long gone, right? So you do know about what happened here? You give me the reason for this right now and tell me where the hell you and Gavin are! I'm not going to tell you where we are, but I suppose I can give you the reason behind why your daughter's left you. I don't need you to sit there babbling on. Just tell me the reason for this right now. Then let me begin. You've been exploiting your daughter for a very long time now, right? That, at least, is what she explained to me. Huh? Back when she was in high school, you forced her to work a part-time job and would take all the money she earned for yourself. And when she became an office woman, you forced her to put 80% of her earnings into your house for your husband and you to spend. The only thing I don't know about is what you and your husband ended up doing with all that money she was forced to give you. But she was never able to use any of her money for herself because for years now, that 20% you allowed her to keep from her paychecks, she's been saving for this reason. She needed the money to move out from your place, but knew that it would take a lot longer than it has to save up that kind of money. But when she found someone to support her, she finally had her chance to escape and find a new home for herself. By the way, this wasn't just what your daughter wanted. There is one other who has experienced the same hell under you and your husband. There's another person? I'm talking about Gavin. He wanted out and made that clear to me when talking with his sister's boyfriend about plans for getting her out. She has a boyfriend? I never knew that she was in a relationship. I've met with him a few times myself, actually. And as for their relationship, they've been together for 3 years now without you ever noticing. There's no way. I should have been able to notice her having feelings for another man. Well, luckily, she had the understanding and help of that man along with Gavin and I. So when I said she had someone to help her get out of your house and not have to save any more money, I was talking about him. She's escaped and is now staying with him at his place. Also, she's gone and left the job she'd been working while staying at your house and will now be taking some time off to relax while she looks for a job that suits her more. That's at least what she told me. Huh? Now, allow me to explain what the point of the whole vacation was about. We knew that you and your husband would want to come along with us on this vacation and would do everything you could to get your son to make it happen. So Gavin purposefully brought it up with the both of you a few days ago. We knew the moment you heard about where we were going and what we'd be doing, you'd force your way in. Hold up. No way, you guys! Your daughter's boyfriend gave us this great idea to use a vacation for Gavin and I to get you and your husband out of the house in order for your daughter to safely run away without either of you noticing. That's why Gavin went ahead and had you and your husband with him while moving me to a different location. He then made it look like we were having a troubled relationship because of the choice you three made, while also working on supposedly getting the four of us to stay in that hotel. He already knew, though, that you wouldn't want me staying there with the three of you, so we made sure to book another hotel room at another hotel so he could come with me when you and your husband weren't around. What the hell? Thank you so much for taking the bait both Gavin and I had laid out for you and letting our plans go without a hitch. Huh? I just heard from Gavin that he got himself a new phone number for his phone. Wait, he got that done already? And it's my turn to get my number changed now. Wait, don't do that yet! Goodbye forever, Maeve. Wait! Everything that happened afterwards, I heard about from the rest of Gavin's family. This was my first time ever hearing this, but it appears that not only was Maeve's husband not working, but neither of them had any savings nor any social security to support them in their later years. In other words, the income that my sister-in-law had and the money Gavin was sending them was their social security. Having just lost both forms of their income and having to soon pay things like bills for the month, both Maeve and her husband went around asking the rest of the family for $2,000. Naturally, after having heard about the situation that had unfolded, every single person they asked told them no in a very disappointed tone. Soon after that all happened, the both of them were exiled by the rest of the family. Having no way of getting any money from the family now, both Maeve and her husband came to the realization that they'd have to work, or else they'd lose their home and starve. They began to search for work to support themselves with, but considering that the both of them are total assholes and old, nobody was willing to hire them in that town. Later, the situation about those two became vague, as the last thing that was seen of those two was them getting into trouble with a group of men on the street. Since then, we have no idea where they both are or what they're having to do now. When it comes to what happened with Gavin and I after that wild ride, we were able to go to our new home and be with our daughters again. And once we were settled down and had all the boxes from the move put into storage, we had both Gavin's sister and her boyfriend over. We celebrated the success of our plan to escape both of their horrible parents, and before the gathering ended, my sister-in-law announced that her and her boyfriend were not engaged and would marry next year. Let me just say, after that exciting news, our little gathering turned into a party, and we didn't end up getting any sleep that night. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.